What is up, my friends, and welcome to the UFL Week In Review, one of the longest-running UFL podcasts in human history. This is show number 45, and we're diving into Week 4 of the UFL season. Today, we're breaking down coaching changes, attendance figures, TV ratings, and the big championship announcement that we've been telling you about. Plus, we got Player of the Week honors and our latest betting odds for this week. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get started.
We love the moments, the memories, the magic, the game. So let's get more. More action. More celebration. More unforgettable.
All right, we've got some coaching changes this week. So first up, Wade Phillips takes a leave of absence as head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. Executive Vice President and CEO Russ Brandon and President and Executive Vice President of Football Operations Daryl Johnston announced, this is interesting because sometimes he's just Executive Vice President, they don't say of Football Operations, announced today that Wade Phillips, head coach of the defending XFL Conference champion San Antonio Brahmas, has informed the team that he would be taking a leave of absence for personal reasons. Brandon and Johnson named offensive coordinator Peyton Pardee, who just took over because A.J. Smith left. So what is up with that? He'll serve as interim head coach for the 2025 season. We've been hearing sources that basically it's a health reasons for Wade Phillips and nothing kind of nefarious other than that. And they just have some good quotes about him and his history. So it's a shame that Wade Phillips, a lot of just disappointment. This is basically the San Antonio Brahmas that we thought of that was going to happen last year is happening this year, where and it's just a shame for Wade Phillips. We hope and pray for him and that, his health is okay and he can get back on the field. But, they lost A.J. Smith. It would have been great to have A.J. Smith as the head coach. But they were having A.J. Smith left because they were having this kind of, disagreement over philosophy when it comes to the offense. Well, hopefully we get to see A.J. Smith back because they had a high-powered offense. They made it all the way to championship last year. This year, they wanted to run the ball more, which isn't kind of that air raid offense that they were running before. So A.J. Smith left. So and Peyton Pardee will now take over as the head coach for your defending XFL Conference champion, the San Antonio Brahmas. And then we had Ken Whisenhunt just steps down. He's done. So Whisenhunt announced they stepped down. I got the chance to see him on the sidelines in the UFL at the DC Defenders game. They said offensive line coach Jim Turner, who served as the team's interim head coach earlier this season, will be the remainder for the 2025 season. He said, "The time has come for me to step away from the game and take a break from football." He was kind of a consultant or something before. "I am so grateful for my time with the players and wish them the best." Just a shame, not really saying, of course, they say grateful and blah, blah, blah. And I thought he was the one that reached out to Daryl Johnston and wanting to be the coach in Memphis or be a coach in the UFL. And he was basically Moose Johnson's top choice. And I thought he was a great choice and just steps down for whatever reasons going on. It's just unfortunate for him. And, we just hope that it's nothing health related wise or family wise or anything. You never know what's going on with these, with anybody in these leagues. We just hope that it's not anything related to the fact that Memphis is a bad town that the UFL is in, which maybe they could, he was there to kind of help build it up. They've got great coaches on that staff, and the team looked a lot better this year. But unfortunately, now he's stepping down, and we'll see how Memphis Showboats can play out the rest of the season. Let us know who you think might be some good coaches for next year. All right, first, we've got the attendance and TV ratings from our main man, Mike Mitchell. So week 2 average for UFL attendance was 16,222, a bump from week 1's average of 8,446. Of course, the UFL averaged after 2 weeks is 12,344. However, the first 2 weeks of the 20 were down 16% from last year after week 2. How did week 3 fare? Friday night's Birmingham Stallions home opener at Protective Stadium against the Arlington Renegades had an attendance figure of 10,126, surpassing last year's team high, 9,444. Now remember, those are not scanned tickets. Those are just tickets that are out there that people can use. Just keep that in mind. Birmingham's average attendance during the 2024 regular season last year was 10,255. Again, but that was also last year's system as well. So that is an improvement. That it looks pretty dang good. Again, but Birmingham should be crushing it. You're Birmingham Stallions. You're the top team in the league. How? Only 10,000. Saturday afternoon's Memphis Showboats home game against the Roughnecks. Simmons Bank Stadium, Ken Whisenhunt's final game as head coach. 4,753, slightly up from the 4,373, which was the lowest reported non-COVID crowd of the modern spring pro era. On Sunday's game, Michigan Panthers against the San Antonio Brahmas, Wade Phillips' potentially last game at Ford Field, 11,013. That is good. I've heard good things that Panthers are doing it. Their home opener last week at Ford Field had an attendance of 10,049, surpassing last year's team high of 9,444. So it seems like we've got some life, Michigan Panther fans. Thank you for joining us. That is really good. Sunday's Week 3 finale between St. Louis Battlehawks and America's team, the DC Defenders, who won and are 3-0. Just want to point out, Cacaw Nation at America's Center had an average attendance of 29,345. Week 2's Battlehawk home opener had an average attendance of 30,000. Last season, St. Louis averaged 34,365 fans per game. So the Week 3 average attendance, 13,976. That is up, according to Mike Mitchell, because you see it was 13,976. After 2 weeks, it was 12,334. So you see that was good. I'm sorry. Well, the week average attendance was 16,022 for the week prior to that. But, I mean, really, it's just Memphis just kills your average. That's why, do we shut Memphis down? We'll have to, that is to be a discussion a lot there in the future. But we'll see what happens there. So week TV ratings see steady progress on Fox and ABC. Now that people are kind of like, okay, like, wait, there's this football league out there. So TV ratings for week 3 of the season, the second year, of course, with the merger. Week 1's average across 4 UFL games was 559,000 viewers. Week 2 UFL rating average was 602,500 viewers. Would the league see more improvement with 3 of its 4 games on major broadcast networks? Probably. All right, Friday night, Birmingham Stallions, Renegades at Birmingham Stallions, 682,000 on Fox Friday night. I think they were getting like 2 million with the WWE, by the way. 0.17 on that 18 to 49 demo. The peak viewership Friday night's game was 856,000. Between 8:15 and 8:30 window. So basically when it started, and then, I mean, most people kind of stick around. They just have to maybe get used to it. This is the first year of it. The Saturday game, Houston Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN, 295,000 viewers. The ESPN numbers have not been that great. San Antonio Brahmas, Michigan Panthers on Sunday, 719,000 viewers on ABC. And then the 3 o'clock game, DC Defenders, America's team versus St. Louis Battlehawks at 3 p.m. ABC, 967,000 viewers. And I was worried because Rory McIlroy was making that run, and tons of people tuned in for that. Should we get Rory McIlroy to play golf on the field or something? Sunday's UFL Week 3 UFL finale on ABC between the Battlehawks and Defenders saw a peak viewership of 1.4 million viewers. Just think if Rory wasn't making that run, I mean, people still would have watched it. I mean, I tuned in as soon as the game was over because then they went into that overtime in golf. The average 967,000 makes it the most watched UFL game of the early season, which is great. That's what we want to see with the 1.4 million peak. I think a lot of those people probably tuned into golf too. So ESPN put that out there, and I think that is good for the league. So the overall ratings for the week, 665,000, which is up from last week, but the number is bogged down by the 295,000 showing on cable. It's worth noting that TNT's Sunday NHL doubleheader averaged 183,000 viewers. Like, just this kind of gives you an idea of what is out there. The UFL Broadcast Network average for week 3 is 789. That's more along lines of the modern day spring pro football leagues typically achieve in premium broadcasting window. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, TNT probably paid a boatload of money for the NHL, where the ESPN and Fox didn't have to pay anything for except for the league. So, that's just something to kind of keep in mind. In 2024, the UFL, including the league's championship games, averaged 945,000 viewers on Fox and ABC, with 6 games crossing that 1 million viewer mark. We'd love to see more 1 million things. Sunday's ABC UFL game had some stiff competition. The Clipper Warriors NBC regular season finale averaged 1.55 million on ESPN in an earlier window. Pistons Bucks averaged 797,000 viewers. The true mastery of sports audience this past weekend came from the Masters on CBS, which hit a 7-year high with nearly 13 million viewers. The UFL has all 4 of their games in week 4 on Broadcast Network, with Fox airing 3 of them. However, the games will be aired during Easter weekend against formidable competition from the NBA and NHL playoffs and WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see if they've gained some ground. We'll see there. I'll be at the game, at the DC Defenders game, as always. Excited about that. So let us know. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think of this week's TV ratings and attendance. And you can always go to the calendar on UFL News Hub to look at all. You've got them all. You got the data right there. You've got the score, the network, the spread, the over under, and you've got attendance and rating numbers galore. If you want to super nerd out, you can. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think about these ratings. This is good. I think we'll get decent ratings this weekend, but let me know what you think in the comments. We have been telling you a long time, and the league announced it last weekend. The UFL Championship Game will be taking place in St. Louis, presented by Underdog, which is good. So the league announced it at halftime. I think it's good that they're coming back. Danny Garcia was there. Russ Brandon was there talking about the championship game played there. We're proud to bring back, blah, blah, blah. It's a great thing. I mean, this is what I was talking about, setting things up for the future. The Dome has hosted numerous convention trade shows, major concerts, including the 2005 NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four, Beyonce's Renaissance Tour in 2023, and concerts by major artists such as the U2, the Rolling Stones, Tay-Tay, Garth Brooks, and Kendrick Lamar. And there you go. So the game is officially going to be played in St. Louis. I was planning on being there, but we had basically the only time we could schedule a family vacation. So I'll be missing the championship game this year, unfortunately, but I will be watching it in Florida, chilling by the beach. And we're going to have a UFL party in Florida. And I'm excited to watch the game. Really, the league, and I've said this multiple times, needs to have St. Louis in that championship game. Could be the catalyst that takes us off in the future. Remember, my concern has always been, how this league's future, and having all of these games in St. Louis where the league can really make some money. It is time to, make the money here, maybe give the players a bump. I doubt they will, but they should. And then also move on to get rid of Memphis and some of these other locations, and grow you got to add 2 new teams in there to make some money and ditch some of these locations like Memphis. If FedEx isn't going to buy it, then you need to move on. But I would say that the marketing teams and all the the boots on the ground, the games, they've done a lot more work this year than they did last year. Still not XFL level. I mean, there was just so many events, but they're building towards in the right direction. And my thing has always been with this league is I just want to know what ownership thinks. That's all I care about. I don't care what you think, to be honest with you. I care what the ownership thinks. And if the ownership's like, hey, we're good for 5 years, it's cool. We're happy with these ratings. And if this ratings stick the whole season, we're going to keep going because this is great. If they're like, we have some concerns, then I'm concerned. But I think this season, as the league tries to get off the ground, I'm hopefully cautiously optimistic that having all these games in St. Louis will really turn the tide for the league, and then we can just move on up. And we're seeing more attendance, people come up. It's just going to take time, my friends. But the championship game is going to be in St. Louis. Even though I want DC Defenders to win it all, I think for the best thing for the league is to have St. Louis in that championship game. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Welcome to Pulse AI Solutions, where we empower small to medium-sized businesses with cutting-edge AI technology. At Pulse AI Solutions, we specialize in AI consulting, providing expert advice to help you integrate AI into your business operations effectively. Our custom AI solutions are tailored to meet your unique needs, ensuring you get the most out of AI technology. We offer comprehensive digital management packages, including website management, hosting, video editing, digital marketing, advertising, content creation, and search engine optimization. Our tech innovation services keep your business ahead of the curve with the latest advancements in AI and technology. From AI product management to enhancing your digital presence, we provide end-to-end support for all your AI needs. Join the revolution with Pulse AI Solutions and transform your business operations today. Visit us at pulseaisolutions.com to learn more about our services and how we can help your business thrive. Contact us today for a free business assessment.
All right, let us wrap up this show. We appreciate everybody tuning in, of course, as always. The United Football League announces Week 3 Players of the Week. We'll just go through this. Michigan Panthers, Bryce Perkins named the Pizza Hut Offensive Player of the Week. We're getting some people in there. DC Defenders, Andre Mintz was named the Defensive Player of the Week. So Perkins, Pizza Hut, that's a nice sponsor. He came on off the bench, the Virginia, we're a Hokie family here. 193 passing yards, 17 completions, rushed for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. Their next game will be against the Memphis Showboats. He could be a guy. And Devin Ross was your special teams player, the Michigan Panthers as well, recording 212 yards on 6 kickoffs. He did well. And then, of course, Andre Mintz of defensive end from your DC Defenders, America's team, recovered the first. They had in the game, his 2 tackles in the game both went for sacks and both forced fumbles. Recovered the first of those 2 fumbles deep in St. Louis territory, setting up the Defenders' offense for the first score of the game. Mintz's 2 forced fumbles set a new UFL regular season single game record. We'll be taking on the San Antonio Brahmas at home, where I will be I will be at the game. Super excited at that. Our UFL News Hub Player of the Week, of course, is the DC Defenders defense. They're just playing lights out. They are the players of the week. They did a great job. I mean, Jordan Ta'amu is playing well, and Manny Wilkins is playing well, but the DC Defenders defense. Honorable mentions, Player of the Week, safety Leon O'Neal Jr., whose performance Saturday gave the Roughnecks their first victory. Oh, man, I like Coach Johnson and all, but then part of me was like, could you imagine if they didn't win a single game? But the Roughnecks got their first victory. I miss the days when the players got paid a little bit more, a little winning bonus. Maybe they could add that into it. I don't know. But they, so that was kind of an honorable mention there. Also, I don't know who put this out at the top here, but I appreciate this. So this is the social media rankings. And I appreciate whoever's doing this is keeping that thing out there. But St. Louis Battlehawks lead the way with 509,000 social media followers. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. Where's Blue Sky, by the way? Are they not even on Blue Sky, Instagram, etc.? They're number 1. Number 2, there's Houston Roughnecks at 325,900. Really? The Houston Roughnecks are number 2. Gosh, can you imagine if they actually had a good team? Put A.J. Smith, offensive coordinator, and put him as the head coach, or put him as the offensive coordinator in Houston, and let them just light up the scoreboard. Number 3, DC Defenders at 302,000, America's team. San Antonio Brahmas, 284,000. Renegades at 282,000. Birmingham Stallions. I mean, this is what I'm telling you. 228,000. Birmingham. What else do you got going on in Birmingham? You have no excuses. Panthers 177,000. That franchise seems to making its way up. I think. But then, sorry, Boatman. The Yacht Club, man, guys could kill it. 62,000. That's right. Memphis 62,000. They don't deserve a league. I don't care what Fred Smith money got. Like again, I'd be like, are you gonna buy the team now or not? We're out. But they have FedEx has got partnerships with Fox and ESPN, and so who knows what's going on behind the scenes. But I mean, could you imagine if this was like a Seattle in there or a new location? That's what I'm saying. You need to pump some life and add 2 teams. I hope they do it. They have to do that this year because and Memphis, I think if Memphis is good, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't know. It's just weird, but maybe it takes some time. I hope I'm wrong, but there you go there. All right, finally, my lineups. I have for DFS, I've got Manny Wilkins, Jacob Sailors. I think they'll do well. I mean, Sailors is just killing it as like a fantasy DFS guy. Adams from Memphis, a baller, as always. I have Chisholm just at 585,800, just to kind of get like a cheap one in there. Turner, Michigan, put up some good numbers at 5,100. And Darby, St. Louis, maybe he can come in with 5,000 because of the injury to their wide receiving core. Oh, gosh, it's been a long day. Name escapes me, and I should know it, but he hasn't actually played that well this year. And so he's out. So Darby comes in, and you know who I'm talking about. So, and you're screaming at your video right now. How can I know that? I forget, dude. I'm tired. I want to say Harris, but that's not it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to remember it as soon as I get off this thing, but he is out. Unless maybe, I wonder if we have him listed. Do they have him listed? Let's just see for fun. Hakeem Butler. I knew it. Dang it. But yeah, look at him. Hakeem Butler. Look at his game log. Nothing. He's done nothing this season. He's out. So Darby could get in there. Yeah. So, and then of course, America's team, DC Defenders, is your defense there. They've been lighting it up. Might as well put them in there. So that is my DFS there. We have the betting windows here for DraftKings. Minus 7.5, the Michigan Panthers over the Showboats. With the change, I picked the over. I may pick the under now that Memphis Showboats are out. I'm going to pick the under there. Battlehawks, I'm going with the over. I think they can get over 40. Birmingham Stallions, going with the over. Now, I think Houston Roughnecks, Nolan Henderson, I believe, is going to be starting for them, so I think they can put up some points. Brahmas, I think they'll be lost. I'm going to go with the under on that one. So if you want to do a $1 parlay, that is, I've got to log in, but I can't do that. I'll do that there. As far as the money lines, oh man, I have to log in. Oh well. There you go. Let's log in. Checking my location. See if that gets up there. But we will find out as that loads. But again, another way to enjoy, remember we've got the cards as a fun way to enjoy the UFL. And then also, there we go. And you can see how much money I have. Really big time baller I have there. So I did that. My money line, I'm going with Michigan Panthers, Battlehawks, Stallions, and DC Defenders. We'll put $1 in on that one. That pays out $3. We'll go there. I don't like doing the spread because that's no fun. But I would do my Fin Parlay. What is my Fin Parlay? So that's a spread, a total, and money line. DC Defenders. We'll go Michigan. But that's high. What can I do? I'm going to go with the under on the Michigan Panthers Memphis Showboats game. Yeah. We'll go with the under there. The spread. I think St. Louis is going to win. So I'll take that minus 1.5 there spread for the St. Louis Battlehawks. And then give me the DC Defenders with the win. So there's your Finn parlay. We'll put $5 on that. That gets you $24.72. That's your Finn parlay this week. Hopefully we can get it there. And that wraps. Oh, we've got, let's see here. We'll put this on here. We do have a couple messages. First up, Adam says, do you think expansion talk is happening now to deflect from current UFL issues? Also, could Iowa be the Green Bay of the UFL, talking about future expansions? More a dream than a reality. Praying for you and your family, Adam. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, and by the way, at the last game that we were at, a lot of people came up to us saying that we're praying for my wife, and she's doing great. She's the Silver Fox now. She's got short hair. You've seen it in the videos. And I really appreciate people coming up, and I really appreciate you guys with your, thoughts and prayers for her, just having her out. And I just want to point out that, and I'll get to your question in a second, but at the last game, we went, and if you saw the video, we kind of did this whole tour to get this thing, to do the game. And she wound up the next day having 102 fever. I felt like total crap, and we were concerned that we were going to be able to go to Disney. But through the grace of God, I would just tell the story real quick. I mean, it was just like the devil was just shooting darts at us. I felt like crap. She had a fever. We've been planning going to Disney since she got her stem cell transplant, even before that. And we were hanging our hat on that, and so looking forward to it. And because we're DVC members, shout out to all my DVC members out there. And so we were so looking forward to it. And then she had to call her doctors because when she has a fever, it's a lot different than when me and you have a fever. She got tested. We had to get Theraflu, even though she had like a kind of positive for the flu, but they thought that, it was kind of, we were just really worried. So anyway, so we're walking, we go through it. We had to drive like 30 minutes to CVS that was open 24 hours to get the Theraflu. And she wore a mask when she was at the airport and all that stuff. And so, it's like 8:00 at night, and I'm like, man, just feeling really beat up. Like she didn't feel well. I went to bed as soon as we got home. And so, but we went to Wegmans, and we walked into Wegmans, and just out of the blue, this guy just walks by us and says, God bless you guys. And I was like, God bless you too. And then I knew right then, I was like, God's like, hey, it's cool. We got this. You're fine. She'll be fine. Enjoy your trip. And sure enough, the next morning I felt fine. She felt a lot better, and we had a great time on the trip. So, and I was in, and why do you say that? Because I think that like in certain instances like that, God is working through everything all the time. And if you don't know, like you should know. And, I really think at times, like God puts something on somebody's heart. Like that guy had no idea about anything, and I think she was even, I don't know if she was wearing her hat or not. I mean, you can't even, she just looks like she's a good looking chick with short hair that's gray. But whatever something put him on his heart to say that to us. And that was something that we needed to hear. And that's what's so beautiful about the human experience. And I really appreciate it. There's just some random stranger, but it was something that we needed to hear. And, I need to do that more. But, but we knew at that point that we were like, hey, she's going to be good. We're going to be good. She'll be fine. And God put it on his heart to say something to us when we needed to hear it because we were at a low point, and we had a great time. So appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys' prayers. I really think that has kind of pushed her and us through all of this stuff and has really helped. And so I appreciate that, Adam. And I appreciate everybody, like I said, who came up and said hello and everything at the games. We love it. It always takes me off guard because I'm like, oh wait, no one watches this crap, but they actually do. So I appreciate that. There was a couple people that came up. So anyway, so do you think expansion talk is happening now to deflect the current UFL issues? I'm going to say no. Somebody posted somewhere that recently Danny Garcia had said that kind of like backed off of that. Is that true? I didn't see that anywhere because it was gone, but I thought I read that somewhere on Reddit. But, one of the things, there's another podcast out there that no one is talking about. It's called The 4th and 12. It's done by people from Fox. That is kind of sponsored. They've had Danny Garcia. They have Moose Johnston on there. So you should look up the 4th and 12 podcast. I'm going to try to get them on the show to talk about their podcast. But it's like weird. Like the league just doesn't like promote this stuff. Remember when ESPN had their show last year? And I'm like, dudes, promote it. And I would go on there. Hey, this show is on. Like, how hard is it to just put it on your social media? Hey, it's this time. We're live on ESPN or on YouTube. Come check it out. And they just wouldn't do it. So I don't know. But anyway, there's a show on there if you want to check it out. I wanted to mention that as well. And then finally, I got some random guy saying, hey, he loves the USFL. They haven't played in a while. Big Panthers fan. So you're a big Panthers fan, but you don't realize that the USFL is gone. Okay. And this is my problem, that they should not have changed the name because people are still confused. They should have stuck with the XFL. I think that had a lot more juice behind it. Clearly with all the, the Battlehawks and everything, but we didn't want to upset each other's side. And so we kind of capitulated and just came up with a new name. Should have stuck with the XFL. I bet you would have a bigger audience and a less hole to dig yourself out of. But he would like me, the Panthers of the USFL, to send him some free autographs and merchandise. So those are the kind of emails I get, my friend. So I appreciate the email, but the USFL is no longer in existence, and you're not going to get any free stuff. So sorry. I don't get free stuff. So there you have it there. So that is it for this week's, my friends. Yeah, we were off last week because we were in Disney. We stayed at the Contemporary one night, hung out at the Villains Lounge, and it was really difficult to, we saw a lot of like older couples together, and it got really emotional, at least for me, because it was like, when your wife has cancer, you're like, are we going to be this, couples that are in their 70s hanging out at Disney? Like, it's just, and everybody knows that's been through cancer and has family members. You know what I'm talking about. You know what's up. So I'll just leave it at that. But we stayed at the Contemporary, and that's the thing too now. It's like a lot of people like got mad at me because I said some political stuff. Like, first of all, like, honestly, at the end of the day, enjoy your life. You only got one shot at it. God is good. Be happy. Love your fellow man. Like, chill. And that's what we're doing this year. Is like, we're just trying to have fun. That's it. We don't talk about politics in our house. And we're just out, but we're paying attention and we know what's going on. Trust me. But we're out here just trying to have fun. So we stayed at the Contemporary, which was cool one night. And then we transferred to the Polynesian, the Poly, if you're in the know. And we stayed at the Polynesian for a couple nights. And then we got into the Poly Tower, which is the new DVC part. And that was, it was really nice. And then, ate at great restaurants. I went to the bar that was in the Polynesian Grottos, something or other. Grotto Sam or something, or Trader Sam's. If you've done that, that was a lot of fun. Shout out to our bartender that was there. That was a lot of fun, and just had a great time just chilling out, man, living it up, because that's what you got to do. And this weekend we've got Easter, and then we're heading over, taking one of our daughters to the DC Defenders games. It's gonna be a little family day with the DC Defenders, America's team, on the television, and we'll be there live in a club level area. So we're super excited about that. So that is it for me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a review on Spotify and on Apple, iPhone, whatever podcasting thing. We appreciate that. We're not going to do a live show because I have a friend's birthday party on Friday, but I'll be watching the game from that. And I'll do the Friday show if I'm around. If I'm not, c'est la vie. So that's it for me, folks. As always, yes, and we were a little late because I was at a networking thing, working on my business stuff and trying to meet people and grow this thing. So anyways, that's it for me, folks. As always, God bless. Enjoy the games this week. That's it for me, and I will see you all Later.